Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. On the part of daily mains program, I started to give two questions. Yesterday, I gave you two questions, mostly from the newspaper, mostly from the news articles of the or main news events of the Hindu, the Economic Times, and other papers. Okay, we will start the subject issues later in the coming days, but first I gave the questions from the newspaper. Yesterday there was an important issues regarding various issues. Look at the first question. G20 and SCO, G20 and SCO summit level discussions in India in 2023 in fact put India in a quagmire situation. Explain. Account for India's preference to G20 rather than SCO. 250 words in 15 marks. This is from the paper. This is regarding the paper 3 GS2 international relations. Source based on the Hindu main page news on SCO meet on virtual. India decided to go to conduct this SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization meeting by virtual rather than conducting in Delhi. This was the main news, important main news in the main page of the Hindu yesterday. This based on this, I framed a question. I repeat the question again. G20 and GSCO summit level discussions in India in 2023 in fact put India in a quagmire situation. Explain. Account for India's preference to G20 rather than SCO. Here, as a UPSC mains candidate, first you have to understand what is the question. Unless you are acquainted with the questions properly, you can't maintain relevance answer writing. In order to maintain relevance writing, you have to understand the question properly. How to understand question? Okay, in each and every question there are 5 essential elements. Number one, task words. Task words are question tags. As far as this question is concerned, there are two question words: explain and account for. Explain is nothing but to give reasons with explanation or with the description. That means explain. Another question tag or task word is account for. Account for means simply you should give the reasons, simple reasons, whereas explain, reasons with description. These are the two important task words here. Another important, as far as the 5 essential elements of each and every question generally, number one is task words, number two is keywords, number three is content words, number four is limiting words. Out of them, these limiting words can be subdivided into three types: geographical limitations, time limitation, and subject and dimensional limitations. And fifth one is sub questions. As far as this question are, there are two sub questions are there. First one, G20, why India is in quagmire situation. Explain and account for the reasons for the why India is giving priority to G20 rather than SCO. There are two sub questions. Number of sub questions are two in this one. Okay, these once you understood the analyze or decoding the 5 elements in each in any question, you can properly understood this question, then you can maintain relevance answer writing. Now get into this, let's get into this discussion. Explain the reasons why India is in quagmire. Quagmire is nothing but difficult or dilemma or confusing situation. Why it is India is in quagmire situation? Because in 2023, India is the holding the presidency of both G20 and also SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Both are very important global bodies, no doubt at all. However, India is in difficult situation, quagmire situation, or some entrapping situation, some kind of feeling of entrapping. Why? The reasons. You should give the reasons. Okay, as far as this explanation, reasons are concerned, number one is simply G20 is a global body, whereas Shanghai Cooperation Organization is a regional, largest regional organization, intergovernmental organization. Okay, that's why India is naturally giving more priority to the global organization. As far as G20 is concerned, okay, G20 presidency is rarely coming to any country. Okay, whereas SCO, as far as SCO is concerned, there are only 8 countries. Okay, frequently we can get the presidency. There is a chance to become a president, SCO. And as far as G20 is concerned, G20 is a global body which symbolizes the multilateralism, and both because it consists both developed G7 nations and emerging or developing nations. So it is equitable in nature. It's global in the scale. That's why G20 is highly global in stature, whereas SCO is a regional organization. It is a Eurasian regional body only. Another important aspect is the SCO is not a global consensus. Okay, it symbolizes, SC symbolizes the new Cold War. Okay, SC symbolizes new Cold War because dominant countries in SCO is Russia, China, which are mostly dead against to the Western countries, that is the NATO countries. That's why SCO aim, one of the major objective of SCO is even security cooperation. Security aspect is also there regarding the Eurasian, implicitly vis-a-vis or against the global Western countries, that is NATO countries. That's why India is facing certain kind of difficult situation because India needs both Western countries as well as Eastern countries. That's what our neighbors. That's why if you are heartfully conducted the SCO meeting that is to be happened in July, okay, that will create some kind of suspicion between the Western countries and this one. They are very important to successfully conduct G20. G20 is more important rather than the SCO regarding this one. And if you, that's why India decided to go on virtual. And as far as the G20 is concerned, it is though it is a global in the scale, there is a lot of possibility to get consensus resolution, because once India is holding presidency to the both SCO, G20 and SCO, and G20 last year G20 in Jakarta was failed because there was no joint communique or resolution, especially because of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. But this kind of situation should not be happened. This is what the desire of India, intention of India. That's why any kind of differences should be patched up. So India G20 presidency will get succeeded. Okay, provided India succeeded in resolving, in carrying out the a unanimous resolution regarding the global various global issues, then only it will be success. Okay, it will succeeded in India, will India's fame will be grown, okay, by leaps and bounds. That's why G20 is more global organization and lot of possibility to get consensus rather than the SCO, because SCO consists enemies, adversaries. For example, within the SCOs, there are only 8 countries are there in SCO, whereas G20 20 countries in SCO, 8 countries are there. The Pakistan, India, China, Russia, Tajikistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan, no Turkmenistan. These are the 8 countries are there in SCO. If you look at the SCO, okay, where Russia versus China regarding Central Asia, regarding the Vladivostok ports, regarding the recent earlier suspicions, etc., etc. Russia versus China, India versus Pakistan, China versus India. There are adversaries. This is a group of adversaries. If they met, adversaries met, no possibility to consensus. So it will create lot of troubles. And out of this G20, this SCO, Russia and Chinese cooperation is very important for the G20 meeting. That's why before G20 meeting, scheduled meeting of the September 9th and 11th, okay, this SCO meeting schedule in July is difficult. Okay, it create lot of problems because Pakistan is instigating China, and China is also very envy of India. That's why they may create certain troubles once they comes to India, once they come to India. So this is being avoided. That's why India is preferred to G20 rather than SCO meeting. Okay, that's why the reasons are absolute, the reasons are certain. Now G20 meeting is very important for India rather than the SCO meeting. In this way, you have to account for this, explain this one, and account for this nothing but simply you have to give the reasons only. What are the reason? SCO is the global in nature. G20 is a global in nature, whereas SCO is a regional and the body of adversaries. That's why naturally India is giving priority to G20. Other reason is G20 is more economically, geopolitically more important for India rather than the SCO. Okay, to maintain good relations with SCO is very difficult. And as far as the SCO is concerned, we may get the presidency within the 1 or 2 3 years. Whereas G20, we will rarely get these opportunities, mostly after the 15 to 20 years, because 20 members are there. 20 countries, around 90 countries will host 19 times. So India will rarely get it opportunities. Now India is giving more priority to G20 rather than SCO. These are the reasons you have to explain. So this you should understand the question properly so that you can maintain relevant answer. Next, second question, it is more important. In the chaotic geopolitical and its resultant global recessionary situation, I repeat, in the chaotic geopolitical and its resultant global recessionary situation, India emerged as a bright star in global economy. Explain to 50 words and 15 marks. This is regarding the paper 4th of GS3, Indian economy. Source based on the Hindu and the Economic Times. Main news regarding the India's growth to 7.2% for financial year 2023 yesterday. This was the main news event in main papers of every paper in India, most Economic Times and Mint and also the Hindu as well. Okay, this is very important. There has been a lot of discussions regarding this issue as well. In the chaotic geopolitical situation, it's resultant global recessionary situation. So this question touches the geopolitical as well as the global financial situation as well. Okay, the question tags here, task force are the explain, which means you should give the reasons with description or with explanation. That's what, so that you can maintain relevant answer. Okay, the keywords, important keywords and the content words are geopolitical, chaotic geopolitical situation. What is the chaotic geopolitical situation? Russia-Ukraine war and civil wars. The chaotic situation in the Indo-Pacific regions. Okay, along the stand-up between India and China, along the LAC. The civil war situation in the Western Asia, Syria, etc., Yemen, etc., global oil-rich region, and also with Pakistan internal situations. These are all the very important situations, geopolitical situations, and as far as which results in global recessionary situation, especially because of the Russia-Ukraine war, ongoing Russian-Ukraine war, and also the post-lingering situation of the COVID-19 as well as still it's languishing the global financial situation. These are the situation. Amidst these situations, India emerged as a bright star because according to yesterday's the Indian Finance Ministry and the Indian RBI, India's growth in financial year 2023 is at 7.2%. And even as per the IMF report, for the financial year 2023-2024, India will grow at the rate of 5.9%, 5.9%. And for the financial year 224-225, it will grow at the rate of the 6.2%. And whereas China for the 223-224 only 5.2%. United States of America 1.6%. European Union 0.8%. Germany recessionary situation. Japan entered into recession only 0.6%. Even entire global average global growth rate also 2.8% as per the IMF, International Monetary Fund. So out of these all countries, global out of major economies, India is the fastest growing economy with 5.9% as per the IMF and 7.2% as per the Indian RBI and Finance Ministry. So India, according to IMF, is contributing 16% of the global growth rate. I repeat, India contributing to the global economic growth rate is 16%, whereas China is only 13 to 14%. So in this aspect, India emerged as the brightest spot or the bright star of the global economy. So this is these calculations of IMF. These are everything. is corroborated that India is already emerged as the bright spot of the global financial economy amidst this geopolitical and resultant recessionary situation. Recessionary situation means whole global economy is facing inflationary situations. Inflation, even in the UK, Germany, France, United States of America, even major economies also facing the inflationary. And forget about this Sri Lanka and Pakistan as usual. So in this, amidst this situation, India emerged as this is very important situation for India. Okay. Now the question is, most these are the introductory in nature, but this introduction uh, used should be used because he has given a some kind of description in order to before asking the question. That's what is the in a chaotic geopolitical and its resultant resistance. For this introduction, you should give 20%, 20% of the words of out of 250 words, because based on this introductory part, the remaining explanation will be dependent. That's why we should give more introduction for this question, context one. So as far as the explanation is concerned, what is the explanation? There are three particular reasons are there. Number one, India is resilient to the global shocks or external shocks because of the India's inherent strength. What is the inherent strength? It is a domestic demand is very high. Okay, it need not depend upon the global exports. That's why it can afford to the global shocks. That is the main reason. Whereas it is not possible in other economies, especially in China and other developed economies, OECD economies. And second reason is India's exports is consistently increasing. Few months back, India all-time record, all India's exports registered all-time record by breaching $750 billion exports. This is all-time record. Okay, it is breached the India's expectations as well as India met its target as well. India's export has been consistently increasing. That is also one reason. And the third reason is India's CAD, capital account deficit, is narrowing down. Okay, capital account deficient, which capital account deficient is nothing but the difference between the government expenditure and its earnings. This capital account deficit is narrowing down because of the increasing exports as well as increasing receival of the remittances and good growth prospects. That is the fourth reason. And the third reason, fourth reason, though the across the globe there is a hanging over this El Nino situations. The India's monsoons, though they are more subjected to, though they are hypersensitive to the Indian monsoons are hypersensitive to El Nino situation. India's IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, predicting normal monsoon season. So this is increases the growth prospects for the next year. This is also increases the positive dimension, positive conducive atmosphere in the global economy regarding the India's economical position. That's why India is consistently receiving good investments. Okay. Another fifth reason is India's government spending, capex. Government spending is increasing steadily in the post-COVID situation and in the recent long-term Amrutkal budget as well. So India's government expenditure is increasing. That's why there is a huge prospects for the growth even in the coming decades, coming years mostly. Okay, that's what important. Okay, in this way, India is emerged as a global bright spot of the global financial economy. That too in the context of the India's presidency of G20. This is the good position. India, it put this kind of financial situation put India in a driving seat regarding the global geopolitical situation. So in this way, you have to write down this question. So first, as far as the question is concerned, first you have to try to understand the question by understanding the five elements of the question: task words, content words, keywords, limiting words, and subparts of the question, so that you can maintain relevance, and so that you can maintain relevance and you can write down question. This one, you can get at least 60% marks if you maintain such kind of relevancy. Okay, thank you very much.